I graduated from Vanderbilt University and was commissioned and ordered to report to the amphibious base Coronado. When I got to Coronado, there was only one person I knew of that lived in San Diego. Her sister sang in the church choir with me in Tennessee. So I called her up, and she said, well, choir practice is tomorrow night. So I took the number 9 bus from the amphibious base across the ferry to San Diego and up Broadway and walked up to the church, which was at 9th and C in those days. At that time, the Korean War was going on, and this church had a great program which it had developed. Every Sunday evening, they got together all the servicemen who were leaving, and as everybody found out where they were going and what ship they were going to be on, and then welcomed them back when they got back to San Diego. The people of the church, yes, they became my family. They supported me on most everything I thought about doing.
John's a special individual, no doubt about it. I met him early on when I first became a member here. He was also a visionary with a lot of other folks in bringing the property here to Mission Valley.
So that's Noel LaRoque was his name. He built this church. Reverend Noel LaRoque was sent here by the bishop and said, get that church built. And that was a big task because we didn't have any money. But he got it all done in 6 years. It's unbelievable. They spent 2 years building forms on this site, and then they had the great day when they had a tilt up and put everything together this way.
John had a multi-unit building in Coronado that was worth quite a bit. The problem is that the way that it was situated, it wasn't kicking off a lot of income. He had low basis property that if he had sold it for the price that the property was worth, would have kicked off a huge amount of tax. He did have an issue, did have a need for a solution.
John always thinks about the church first as part of his family. John wanted to make sure that not only things that needed to be taken care of today, but in perpetuity, was definitely something he was genuinely concerned about. And so we began the discussions of the Charitable Remainder Trust.
I met Herman calling through Coronado and mentioned, Adam, yes, I'd love to sell my building. I've owned it for many, many years. However, I do not want to pay capital gains taxes on it.
For many people, 1 or 2 life charitable remainder trust is the right answer.
When I first started doing this, I'd run into people and they say, well, I talked to so-and-so and they told me this, and it was something that wasn't true. And I thought, well, why are these people telling them things that aren't true? After a while, I found out that there's so much to learn about these that people would not remember everything. And so it has to be kind of explained to people several times sometimes.
The charitable trusts were primarily born in 1969, at least the trusts as we now know them. The benefits of this plan are BIC. B is bypass gain. You can sell tax-free. I is increased income. And C is charitable deduction. When you set up this special trust, based on the rules that were created by Congress, it pays income for a period of time, and then the trust eventually will go to charity. There is a charitable deduction, and the charity is tax exempt, therefore the trust can sell tax-free.
I was totally amazed at the potential for what it could do for John. And what John's needs was he desired to provide for his church, which he cared for deeply, as well as his ongoing own financial needs for taking care of himself for the rest of his life.
John's eyes lit up immediately, and he was very ecstatic at the fact that the CRT would be a viable option for him. And he had grown this wealth that took many, many years to finally build, and he knew that he was going to be able to touch the lives of many people. It was a very exciting moment for him to find out that this charitable remainder trust could benefit the church at the end.
I don't think anybody knows about it. And I'm anxious for this opportunity to let people know that they could take advantage of it to benefit the church, to benefit their heirs, and not to benefit the IRS.
John's generosity will go a very long ways for a very long time. it's a great legacy for him to leave for the church, and John has been a generous soul for many, many years, and people that may not fortunately get to meet John in person will get to know that he's left a lasting imprint here at First Church.